Fighters snapping losing streaks in 2025 in every division.
I see my haters proud of me now. When I'm around, it's all smiles. I took over my whole town.
Starting in the flyweight division, and the man to kick off this list is going to be Mr. Steve Erceg. He is coming off of back-to-back losses against Kakar Prince, where he got TKO'd, and a championship loss to Pantoja. One of Pantoja's more difficult defenses, in my opinion. He was able to last with him all 5 rounds, and the 5th round was the decider, which he lost. Now, in order for Steve Erceg to break his streak, he has Brandon Moreno in a main event, which is going to be a huge fight. Very, very tough draw for Steve Erceg, but I do believe Steve Erceg will probably get it done. But this fight will be extremely tough for Steve Erceg. Brandon Moreno is no slouch, the former champion, and it is in Mexico, so I can't imagine it's going to be very easy for Steve Erceg. Steve Erceg does have a very, very good chance of snapping his losing streak in this fight, and if not this fight, hopefully his next fight, and they don't give him another absolute killer in the flyweight division. In the bantamweight division, we have a former champion. We have Mr. Henry Cejudo with back-to-back losses against former champions and current champion Merab Dvalishvili and Aljamain Sterling. Henry Cejudo is making his 2025 debut against Song Yadong in February in UFC Seattle, which is a fantastic main event in my opinion. But I do think Henry Cejudo snaps his losing streak in this fight. I mean, his last 2 losses came against former champions and 2 former champions that out-wrestled the Olympic gold medalists, which was kind of crazy to see. And I don't think Song Yadong has that high-level wrestling, and I think Henry Cejudo gets back to his winning ways and probably a unanimous decision win or a late TKO stoppage. In the featherweight division, I am taking Mr. Yair Rodriguez. His 2 back-to-back losses have came against Mr. Brian Ortega and Mr. Alexander Volkanovski in a title fight. Yair Rodriguez is one of the more talented strikers in the entire UFC with the flashy style that he has, who he fights in 2025 to make his debut. I have no idea yet. He has not had a fight announced, but I cannot wait to see who Yair Rodriguez draws in the first fight of 2025. I think it's going to be a fantastic matchup, whoever they give him. In the lightweight division, we are taking Mr. Rafael Viziev. His losses came against Mr. Mateus Gamrot, which was an injury, which it counts as a loss, so it is a loss. And then we have Justin Gaethje, which was an absolute war in that fight, and I cannot wait to see Viziev return. I feel like he has a very, very good chance to have a fantastic 2025 year, because a lot of people forget this man was an absolute monster before he went to Justin Gaethje and the injury against Mateus Gamrot, which I thought that fight was going to be a fantastic one for him. But 2025 can be the year of Viziev if he can get busy, and I feel like it is going to be. In the welterweight division, this one might be a little bit more hopeful. More than anything, I am taking Mr. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. His back-to-back losses came against Shavkat Rakhmonov and Hakeem Buckley, getting finished in both. 2 really, really good fighters, in my opinion. I feel like both of those fighters are going to contend for a championship belt in her career. Shavkat, I'm pretty sure, is the next one to contend at 170. And I think Buckley, the way his 2024 ended, could easily compete for a UFC title by the end of 2025 also. What do you guys think about this one? Does Stephen Wonderboy Thompson have one more victory in him? And is it the next fight that he gets into in 2025? Let me know. In the middleweight division, and kind of the reason this video came about, I am taking Mr. Israel Adesanya. That man is coming off of back-to-back losses for, I want to say, the first time in his career, or a very long time in his career, with those losses coming against former champion Sean Strickland and current champion Dricus Du Plessis. And I feel like this fight against Nurmagomedov Imavov is going to tell us 1 or 2 things. Is Israel Adesanya still the elite of the elite fighters that we know them as, or is he going to be one of those fighters that just fight on some fight night cards, maybe a pay-per-view card, or one of those? I feel like this is going to be a very, very tough test for him, but I do think Israel Adesanya gets it done. In the light heavyweight division, I am taking Mr. Jamal Hill. I know his last fight was in 2025, so it really doesn't mean much, but it's still snapping a 2-fight losing streak with those losses coming against Mr. Yuri Prohaska and Alex Pereira. I feel like outside of those two former champions and the champion, I feel like there's not too much at light heavyweight. I mean, you have Jan Blachowicz, you have Alexander Rakic, you have Carlos Ulberg. I feel like those fights are all winnable for Jamal Hill. What do you guys think? Let me know. In the heavyweight division, I am taking Mr. Sergey Pavlovich. He also fights Saturday against Mr. Biggie Boy Jairzinho Rozenstruik. That's going to be a very, very hard fight. I see that fight going one or two ways, but you're going to have to see my predictions videos for that. This fight that he has against Biggie Boy is going to be a very tough one. Does he snap his losing streak in 2025? Yes. Is it in this fight? That's a very hard tell for me. What do you guys think about this? Let me know down below. Who streaks do you think continues in 2025, and who do you think breaks their streaks in 2025? I feel like my list is a pretty solid one, but there is some very, very good fighters that's on some losing streaks that I feel like is still going to snap their losing streaks that didn't make this list. Let me know down below which ones your favorites are. And like always, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Be good people. Peace.